My name is Kenny Lee. Welcome to the Highline, and I'm joined by a man who has won at pretty much every level of football that he's been in. None more so than right here. Nico, thank you for taking the time, man. We'll start with how was training today?
It was good. Starting up the spring season, we got I think it's 5 or 6 games coming up. So we have one this weekend actually against Menlo. So we're just getting back into it.
Nice. Well, we'll begin where you began, which is at El Camino. You were there for 2 years prior to your career here at Cal Poly. And I was interested because you played 5 years across MLS Next. You played for LAFC, played for LA Galaxy, played for TFA. You led your LA Galaxy team in minutes in your final season there. And yet you ended up at El Camino. So how did you get recruited there? And why did you choose to begin your collegiate career at ECC?
Yeah, so I started off with LAFC when it was like U12, like the first year. It was going good. I actually really liked it. I started to enjoy all the different luxuries that come with that. Traveling, get all this gear free and stuff, so it's different. But then I dislocated my elbow. I wasn't able to recover in time, so it was that year where they're gonna bring in like a whole new squad. So they ended up releasing me. So I went over I was in Laufa for a year actually.
Oh, okay.
And then from there, I had a good year. And when we played Galaxy, I got scouted by them. So I went over to train with their O3 team, which at the time was like the best O3 team in the nation, I think. I did pretty well, and then I went with Galaxy. I was there for 2 years. My first year, that's when I led like the team in minutes. Got invited back for the next year to go to the high school there. It's like more serious. You go to high school. We had the opportunity to travel to like tournaments in Croatia, South Korea. But then that year, the COVID year hit.
Okay.
So, and then, yeah, they only ended up keeping like 5 or 6 players, I think, from like my 04 age group.
Okay.
So, and then at that time, I was already, I was a sophomore. So I had 2 years left, and I'm like, damn, I already played 2 MLS teams in the area. So I was like, I want to stay at this level, at least compete, see what happens next. So I went to TFA, and I was there for 2 years. My senior year, our team was good, but we weren't able to like make it to the tournament stuff, like the MLS Next stuff.
Yeah.
But I was talking to schools here and there, but I was really never really able to solidify anything. They would ask the same question, like, oh, like why did you go from team to team and stuff? How to explain the story, and then it came to a point. But I took school serious, so my parents. There's a whole like stereotype on why you're doing so good in high school. Why go to a JUCO?
Right. Because that was one of the things I saw, I know you were involved in like, different organizations in high school and things like that. And, a ton of people talk about it nowadays about how important your grades are and stuff for getting recruited. And yet you still ended up at a JUCO.
Yeah, so obviously, I mean, playing so much, like I didn't want to just give it up, like go to school and study. So I had to talk to my parents, and the coach at El Camino was Mike Jacobson from LAFC. And he reached out through like Instagram, and then I looked into it, and one of my best friends at the time, Bogart, was going there too. So I just made the decision to go there, trust the process of what he told me, and it ended up being like a really good decision. But,
yeah, we'll get into that decision. So your first season there, you guys had a phenomenal year, 17-2-3. You played a lot. You started 21 of 22 games, but unfortunately, the season comes to an end in the quarterfinals of the CCAA regionals against Mount Sac on a shootout.
Yep.
How tough was that loss, and how did it sort of shape the mindset going into your sophomore year at El Camino?
Yeah, so my plan when I got recruited to Elco was to go there for a year and then try to see if I could venture out after, because I wanted to have 3 years like at a D1 or a top D2 school. And yeah, we lost in PKs. Our team was really good, actually. It was a tough loss. And then the thing about that team was that we had a lot of young guys. We were going to lose, I think, like 4 main seniors or sophomores at the time.
Yeah.
So I made the decision to stay 1 more year. I mean, I didn't really have like an option to venture out to. And the incoming class was really good. So I decided to stay. And then that spring, we had games against Fullerton, UCSB, Dominguez, and it kind of just like it set the tone, okay, first year we came up short, but we're almost there,
Right. Right.
Sophomore year, I got to make more of a noise, make
Yeah.
more of a name for myself.
Yeah.
So that's what.
One of the things that I always think about, is how important it is to, I think, have a successful first year of college soccer, because I think it kind of shapes your view of it. So, did having, a winning first season at Elko, did that sort of, shape your mindset of like, yeah, you know what, this is what the standard is going to be for the rest of my time in college and beyond?
Yeah, considering the coach that we had and then the team as well, I felt like it was like we're obligated to win,
Right.
And then obviously there's the JUCO level, and then like I said, this spring you get to play like D1 schools and stuff. So then I'm comparing, okay, if I'm doing good at the JUCO level, but if I want to make the jump, now I'm getting the chance to play these teams. So kind of just it opened my view, like the things I need to work on more stuff over that year.
Yeah.
And just make more of a name for myself.
Well, you and your teammates certainly did
Yeah.
in 23-24. So I'm going to just read out a few numbers from that team. So 25 games, you go 24-1, 15-0 at home. You end the season on a 22-game winning streak. And how many goals do you think you guys scored that season? Because I have the number right in front of me.
I think it was like 113 or something.
Very close. 111. 111 goals in 25 games. And almost equally as remarkable, your goals against average was below 1. It was .52. Yeah. I mean, you guys were clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah.
What was that like? What was it?
Yeah, I mean, so like I said, we had players coming in from like LAFC, kind of pursuing the same dream, to make the jump.
Right.
And in the summer, I mean, I felt like it was one of the best like preseason camps I've ever been a part of. I mean, you could just see how serious the team took it.
Yeah.
We had 2 games. The first team of the season, I think, was like IBC and Santa Monica. We went 2-0, and then we go to Norco. And
that was the only loss.
Yeah. And it kind of, but I felt like that's what we needed, like.
Right.
We had these like this name around all the players we have, and then boom, we go to Norco and lose. So.
Bit of humble pie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So everything after that was a winning streak, and I felt like we never let ourselves get like ahead of ourselves ever again after that point. And I mean, it was just such a historical year.
One thing is, the last 7 games, all clean sheets, which is remarkable because, I mean, that's the toughest part of your season, right? Going into the playoffs and stuff. Did you guys know you were going to win the final? I mean, like, did you guys know, like, beforehand, like, I mean, because you won 4-0. You won 4-0 in the state final against Cuyamaca. Like, obviously, probably not. I mean, but
the thing was,
I mean, that's unbelievable. 4-0 in the finals. Like,
yeah. So we knew that like our side of California was like it's always really competitive. Right? Like Mount Sac, Cerritos, like those schools have good players too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we played Mount Sac 3 times that year, like in the season and the conference tournament.
Yeah.
And then
which I think, for people who maybe haven't played in college, like that's so difficult to do, is to beat a team 3 times. I mean, it's really, really tough.
Yeah. And we won 3-0, 3-0, and then the last game it was 1-0. But it was like such a difficult game. And like going into time when you're like, there's a big thing, like, it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
3 times, it's so tough. Yeah.
So then once we got through that, we were gonna face like a different side of the bracket in California.
Yeah.
And obviously, our coach doesn't have like the ability to travel over here and get scouts in. Right. So for a point, like we felt extremely confident in what we had to do, like our team and stuff. But I felt like the goal was just always like we're gonna win it, but like not like we're just gonna zoom through.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you make a good point. I think especially in California, like particularly in that conference, like you say, Mount Sac, Cerritos, LBCC, it's a gauntlet. And so if you can make it out of that,
you have a good shot.
You're in with a great chance. So having said all of that, I have to ask this question because, in my opinion, this is something I've believed ever since that team. Is that the greatest junior college side of all time? And like I said, I think there's numbers to back it up. But then if you look at, you are here at Cal Poly, Bogart goes to Bakersfield, Charlie at East Bay, Donovan's the #1 at San Bernardino. I mean, Marvin just won Newcomer of the Year at Cal Poly Pomona. I mean, is that the greatest JUCO side of all time?
I heavily believe so, yeah. I mean, I feel like the numbers speak for itself. And then I mean, we won every trophy
Yep.
possible. So
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
then obviously the players are venturing out to their own
And
journey.
having their own success.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I've never. Yeah, I think it's the greatest JUCO side of all time. I saw you guys play a couple times that year. I was at the SMC game where you won, I think it was 3-0.
Yeah.
And then I was also at the Mount Sac tournament game.
Okay.
I think it was the semifinals, I want to say.
Yeah.
And that was it 3-0 as well?
Yeah.
Or something
That was
like
the
that?
that was the final.
Yeah.
The
final,
Long
yeah.
Beach. Yeah.
So yeah, for me, I think probably. Anyway, so then you're All-America first team. You're Defensive Player of the Year at El Camino. You were the captain. So I have to imagine that perhaps unlike your high school recruiting, you had to have a lot of people, calling your phone, emailing you. So why here at Cal Poly?
Well, yeah, like you say, the year we had, I did have a couple options with some top D2 schools. Cal City LA.
Thank God you didn't go there.
I talked to Dominguez for a bit, but when it came to like D1 schools, like the only school that truly believed in me, like wanted to give me the opportunity was Cal Poly. So yeah, I mean, I spoke to the coaches here. They reached out to me after Cerritos game, which was like, I think it was the beginning of the conference league, and then they kept an eye on me throughout, all the way to the final.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there was constant communication, and then I started like looking at the history of the school. I mean, the stadium,
yeah.
The area.
And I was gonna say, just what a place as well. Just what an area.
And yeah, the coaches showed a lot of belief in me, a lot of trust. So I mean,
yeah,
it's not something that you find everywhere. So.
Absolutely. And correct me if I'm wrong, but would that have been your coach's first recruiting class? Second.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, let's get into your career here at Cal Poly. And I think first thing I want to talk about is, and I'll just ask you, so when the schedule comes out, what's the game that's circled? I think I already know the answer, but tell the people, what's the game that everyone's looking at, okay, that's the one we're looking at.
Yeah, I feel like if you go to either school, I mean, the main game you're going to look at is like the Santa Barbara, the blue-green rivalry.
Yes.
I mean, you're looking at it as empty now, but I mean, in that game, you got this whole side filled up, that whole side filled up.
So I did some research, and 20 of the top 75 largest attendances at a regular season Division I game were right here.
Yeah.
Right here at Spanos Stadium on Mustang Memorial Field. But even more impressive, I think, is that 35 of the top 75, so that's almost 50%, 46.7%, is that fixture, is Cal Poly against UC Santa Barbara. So you got to, I've played in front of nowhere near, those numbers. But, when you're in front of 1,000 or even 800, it can feel like a lot. So, exactly. I mean, what is it like playing in front of, 10,000 people?
Yeah, I mean, coming from, you grow up like playing your academy games, you go JUCO. I mean, you never even play like in really like areas that have like stands like this.
Right.
So I mean, you can hear all these things, but you'll never get a true feel for it until like you're actually walking on the pitch and like you're looking around, you're like, damn. So I mean, from my first experience when I came here, it was a warm up, and I'm getting to school for to check in and stuff, an hour and a half before the game. I already see like a line of fans like going around over here, the parking lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Like, no way. And I'm warming up. I see this like side keep getting crowded up.
Yep.
And then you're walking out for game time to blow the whistle, and it's like you're looking around. It's kind of a moment to suck in.
Where do you guys come out of actually?
Our locker's down here.
Okay, gotcha.
So we walk through here.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, I mean it's a unreal feeling, and
oh,
I mean I feel like everyone wants to play in such a big game.
Absolutely,
big crowd, so
yeah.
It's a dream come true.
So I have it here. So in 2024, you played in front of a combined almost 20,000 between the two games, and then this season it was a combined 17 or 18,000. Yeah, I mean it's unheard of. So let's talk about your first season here. In 2024, you had a conference low 15 goals conceded. what was the key to the success that you and the back line had that year?
Yeah, I mean, so I came in that year knowing that there was like a center back spot to compete for.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and when I came here, my first training session, I'm like, damn, like this is really intense, you know.
Yeah.
So the thing about like this program is there's like a big emphasis on like a brotherhood or like making your teammate feel like trusted.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like since the first game, that was kind of like a huge thing that we focused on. And then like right here, even in training sessions, like you get a block shot, you get the ball back to put emphasis on like you know, defending.
Yeah.
And we're a team that loves to press, so I feel like the success for the back line kind of was all like you kind of trust the person next to you that they're gonna get the play done, and then I just always want to keep that clean sheet.
Right. You were also one of 5 players that season to not only start all 19 games, but you played all 1,730, which, I mean, to play every game takes a toll on the body, let alone to start and finish every single one. What were the keys, maybe off the field, to make sure that you were 100% on game day, just, you know, physically?
Yeah, I feel like you know, you always have to. You have so much resources like once you come to like a program like this, and you know, just taking care of the body. And obviously, I feel like when you're in such like a zone of like go mode, like there's just that feel to just like nothing can really stop you. So I mean, I was playing every game. You know, I was feel tired, but there's recovery stuff that I was doing at home here. So and it's just back to it.
That season, you guys had a .68 goals against average, which was second among 205 Division I programs. But most importantly, you delivered the program's first Big West regular season title. You win it by 1 point over those bitter rivals, UC Santa Barbara. I mean, what was that like to win, you know, the first title in program's history, and to not only have that great of a season, but then to have, you know, silverware to show for it?
Yeah, I mean, going into that game, the crazy thing was if we lost, like we're out of the conference tournament.
And, wow, it was that close at the top.
For us to win it, like so many other games had to go our way, and like it ended up happening, you know. So we're here. It's like minute 85, I think, but like by minute 70, we see our coaches like pushing like to go, you know. So like, oh damn, like maybe things are going our way. And I mean that goal falls, man, and the whole like the feeling, we all just run over there. We kind of knew what was going on. So I mean, and you know, to get here on my first year and win a title, especially for the Big West, you know, you grow up watching those games around you. Yeah. And so I mean, it's obviously a very special moment, especially the way we won it, you know, almost like a last-minute goal.
Right.
So
that title, and that season you were all Big West honorable mention. So you get an individual accolade. How did that feel? How did that make you feel?
Yeah, it was also a really good feeling. I mean, obviously, we had a lot of people get their awards that year because of the season we had. Just getting recognized, you know, like I said, but also trying to keep like my toes on the ground. You know, I came here, it was a good year, award and stuff. So but I mean, obviously, something to be grateful for.
Yeah. So then we go into 25, and you know, it's one thing to win a title; it's another thing to stay on top. What were some of the conversations between yourself and the group, you know, leading into 2025, knowing that there's going to be now all of a sudden this target on your back as the reigning champion?
Yeah, that was kind of the big emphasis. You know, you win a title, the goal is to beat the team that won the title the next year. So that was just the big focus that we had, and going into each game, wanted to take it a game at a time, not look forward into anything else. And with it being such a competitive conference, I mean, our non-conference games always trying to build us up to the intensity of what it's going to be like. So yeah, I felt like there was a lot of bumps too on the road, but I mean, just trying to stay to the course, you know, pushing through to get to that.
Yeah, I was when I was preparing for this, I was and I was looking at that list of the top 75 attendances. The third one on that list was actually UCLA at UC Santa Barbara, all the way back in 2010. And my head coach at Dominguez, Eddie Soto, he was an assistant at UCLA at the time. So I was asking him about that, and I asked him, you know, does playing in difficult non-conference games, does that kind of help you, you know, moving into conference? And it sort of sounds like that's kind of like what you're saying, right? Is you want to test yourself early on, you know, before you get to conference, so that when you do get there, you're ready, you know. But 25 was once again a successful year. You win the league again, but this time in a three-way tie. So not quite outright. But again, you start all 20, and you only didn't play 90 minutes once, and you eclipse your minute total this time to 1,784. I mean that's a lot of football over a 2-year span. And this time you were All Big West second team. That is quite the milestone. That, I mean, honorable mention's cool, but All Big West second team, that had to be a pretty good feeling.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, your honorable mention is like you're getting the award, but now it's like, okay, there's obviously more to work for.
Yeah.
And I mean, I felt like once conference came around, the team was like in its groove. So then we had like injuries along the way, so just trying to push through all that.
Was the back line in 24 and 25, was it the same?
Yeah, we just had a different left back.
Okay, different left back. Okay, because in 25 you guys 10 clean sheets was tied with a program record. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah. So again, like, okay, let me ask you this, because 10 clean sheets. So what, in your opinion, would be the 3 keys to keeping a clean sheet over 90 minutes? What are the 3 most important factors in doing that?
I feel the first one is just staying connected throughout the whole game. Because I mean, I feel like at this level, like even if it's a set piece, you like look down, boom, ball behind.
Right.
So I would say staying connected throughout the whole game. Playing the full 90 minutes that it is. Honestly, like not shying away from any opportunity to get that, like the block shot, the tackle, get a clearance.
Right.
Like it's your role, so assume the role.
Yeah.
Get it done. And then I feel like it's a team effort, not just like a back line stuff.
Yeah.
We're a team that likes to press, so we're the back line. It's our job to not get shot on our keeper, know. But even then, we had a really good keeper. We had midfielders that love to track back. Everything was bought into what the system is. So.
One thing I wanted to ask you about, unfortunately, the season came to an end in the Big West semifinals. But why was that game played at UC Irvine? If it was a 3-way tie, how did they determine who got to host and who didn't?
So out of the 3 first places, we were the 3rd first place.
So, and what was that based off of? Like goal difference?
It was goal difference.
Really?
Yeah.
But how do you?
It was kind of.
You only conceded 15 goals in the conference that year. Oh, but maybe you didn't score.
I think. Yeah, I'm not sure how it went, but I mean, even when we won at Bakersfield, like there's this whole thing like, all right, how are we gonna? Did we win? Because like we all had the same amount of points. And then it came into the goal difference. Or I think it was like record in conference.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it was.
But how would you have a different record in conference if you all had the same points?
It's like what,
I don't know. That's one for the Big West to figure out. But no, I was just curious.
Yeah, so we ended up playing UCSD here. I think it was like the first game of a conference.
Like, I watched the highlights of it actually. Of the conference tournament, right?
Yeah, it was like the first win. I don't know what it was, but
2-0 win.
So since UCI was the second seed, we went up to UCI for that game, and that's a tough loss, but
yeah. Well, I mean, so all in all, how do you sort of sum your career here at Cal Poly? I mean, it was a tremendous 2 years. You really sort of set the foundation for likely many years to come.
I think just grateful and special. I mean, you go to JUCO, you have that dream to go play at the next level, and I mean, I was here. I mean, such a beautiful area, great team. And I mean, the opportunities I got here were immense. So also opened other doors. So it's really nice.
One of those doors was a preseason invitation with the San Jose Earthquakes too.
Yeah.
How was that experience? What was that like?
Yeah, I was there for I think it was 4 weeks.
Okay.
I got to play in 2 preseason games.
Against?
So the first one was San Ramon, UPSL team was preparing for the Open Cup.
Yeah.
And the second was against Monterey Bay.
Okay.
So, I mean, you're at that, now it's like, okay, what's the next level, You get that invite. I got there, like, first day there, I was nervous, I'm like, man, I'm around pro players.
Yeah. First professional preseason, I think you can understand.
Yeah, but, I mean, once again, like, I gotta realize I'm there for a reason, So, trust in my own abilities and in the opportunity. So, I mean, overall, it was a great opportunity. I met some guys that came from colleges too, so I knew I wasn't the only guy that's we're all fighting for a contract, essentially the next step. And I mean, it was great.
Yeah. Well, you had another sort of professional experience just recently with Ventura County Fusion, who you'll be returning to this summer against Spokane Velocity in the Open Cup. Fortunately, it came up just a little bit short, 2-1. But I watched a lot of the game, and you guys were really dominant in terms of possession and things like that. What was that like? What was that experience like in the Open Cup?
Yeah, so going into the game, we're obviously a college team, so
not a lot of time on the training ground.
Yeah. The big point was like I think they've had 8 weeks of preseason. We had 2 hours of training.
Yeah.
We trained for an hour 2 days before that. But I mean, obviously they're college guys, so you're hungry to prove a point. You're playing a pro team, and like you want to show that you can compete.
Yeah.
And I feel like the group that got together for that game had that hunger. They scored on us early in the first half, but I felt like there was a response. It wasn't like damn, like here we go, we can get crushed.
Right.
It was there was a response. Second half came around, we get a PK, score the PK, and then now it's a pro team, so they have a response as well, and they kind of took over the last 10 minutes.
And then they got PK, right?
Yeah, they got a PK, and then
was it a pen? It's hard to tell on
it is.
When I was watching it, so
I don't know if it went like head ball or ball head, but he said
sometimes I have a theory that like if a penalty at one end, sometimes they think that they owe them one at the other end. But you are heading back to Ventura this summer after a very successful campaign. Last summer, you guys won the league, and then you made all the way to the Western Conference Final, and that was another big atmosphere that you played in up in Inter Bay against Ballard. Compare, sort of a blue-green derby to that atmosphere up in Ballard.
In Ballard, it's obviously a smaller pitch, but I mean, there's like bushes, and you have like fans in the bushes. Or behind the goal, and I feel like there's more banter. So
they're right on top of you at Inter Bay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the thing was, we're in Seattle. So I mean, there's not like fans from Fusion. It's literally
no way in. Yeah.
So it was literally like
complete hostile territory.
Exactly. So I mean, obviously,
did you kind of relish that a little bit?
I agree.
Yeah.
But it was a sick environment to me. I mean, I feel like
absolutely.
You get you're playing against college players as well from many different places. So I really like the experience as well.
Yeah. You reckon you might meet them again this
I think
summer?
So. Yeah. I mean, obviously the conference that we played for USL 2 is
it's happened a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there's teams like Capo that have like UCI players.
Right.
There's AMSG. There's City with San Diego people up there.
Did you play Tucson out in Arizona?
Yeah, we did.
That's a pretty cool atmosphere as well out there that they have. Yeah.
So I feel like it's really competitive, So I mean.
But despite all those teams within the league, you guys won the Southwest Division.
Yeah, we did.
Just another trophy to the cabinet. Yeah.
So then, but yeah, I mean, obviously, Ballard's a team that's solidified over there. They're always in the final games too.
Yeah.
And I mean, their coaching, like their system when we played them, they had like a proper system as well. So I mean, it would be nice to meet them again. Hopefully, get to that point again, and this time make it. The next
just
game.
one better.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that pretty much that's just about everything I have. Nico, thanks so much for taking the time, man.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Best of luck the rest of the summer. I'll be in touch.
Sure.
All right, then.
It.
Yes, sir.